We still confront segregation in its glaring and conspicuous form. We still confront segregation in its glaring and conspicuous form. Even though before the victory is won, somebody else will have to get started. Even though before the victory is won, somebody else will have to get started. Even though there are the difficult days ahead, 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 even though there are the difficult days ahead.
What's poppin', what's pimpin'? I really hope you boys and girls are out there simping. It's your boy G Smooth. Give me that urban news you can use so you don't get confused with that moist shot down the tube. Fly from the DF Dub in a Lone Star, cause I'm fly like a beetle bug in my own car. Hey, what's poppin', y'all?
Shit,
what's up?
Goddamn. We all here. Ain't that a motherfucker?
Yeah, that's crazy. Made it work.
We made it work, man.
Finally got it all set up, ready to rock and roll.
Man, that's what it is. Hey,
got 4 wheels, that way you can roll, you dig?
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. We got 3 topics. First topic is MLK versus Malcolm X. Second topic is the Army in Chicago. And the third topic is where do we go from here? After we talk about the topics. What's the solution? What kind of solution can we bring to the table? You know what I'm saying?
True that.
So first thing is the MLK and the Malcolm X. What I hear is a lot of people talk shit about MLK. And I get offended. I know what he did. I know what he was going through. You can see it. It's footage out there. They were throwing rocks at the man. You know what I'm saying? The man went through a lot. And everybody say, well, he fucked a white bitch. So?
But I mean, come on. Here's how we'll fix that real quick. A lot of us got the shade of brown that we got because the same white man that say he hate us rape not only niggas, but our women. So if you count it off who fucked who, that don't mean nothing. Let's just erase that. So yeah, fucking somebody don't have nothing to do with civil rights. And it don't have nothing to do with racism. Because a white boy be racist as hell.
Fucking is fucking.
Fucking is fucking.
Pussy, dick is dick. That's what that is. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Ain't got nothing to do with
it. That's
the
distraction they bringing in the game to keep your mind off what the real deal is. Hell ain't now a person gonna speak up for what's right. Really just right. He had to learn how to be right. Shit. So I mean, damn. I mean, they're looking for perfection and they know that shit don't exist. They know that shit don't. They know
that's some fairy tale shit.
And from the beginning of time, man's downfall since the beginning. Even if you read that Bible, man's downfall has been a woman. Man, we love women, all kinds, shapes, forms, and fashions. That ain't gonna never change.
Samson, and what was Samson and Delilah?
Samson and Delilah, the whole 9 yards.
All of them.
Adam and Eve.
That's it.
Shit,
come on, man.
Onion baby mama, hell, anybody, everybody, something.
Anybody and everybody.
Yeah. Ain't nobody excluded. That ain't no exclusive club, homeboy. There's a whole bunch of people in that club.
Well, you know, that was I think it was that's what's in the Bible to spread your seed.
Yeah.
Well, anytime you can get any type of human contact, man, hell, you can spread all type of shit. Because if you couldn't, they wouldn't be using it to do it. You know, HIV, they knew motherfuckers was fucking each other and doing all that shit.
Yep.
That ain't stop them. They knew that. They put it. That's what they do. You know, the devil sift you for your weakness, and then he prey on it. So once they found that out, well, hell, they are gonna be doing that. We got something for you when you do that. They got an answer for all that shit, and it ain't gonna be a good answer.
You ain't lying.
So basically,
and they got the patent. And they got the patent on all this shit.
So basically,
make money out of
the outlook of the whole thing with the MLK and the Malcolm X. Everybody down for Malcolm X. We already know that. He did pretty much. He came from the streets. He did everything like he was supposed to. And then with MLK, he was in like the White House. You know, he was going to big meetings and all that stuff. But he still was a humble man. He still preached love that you can't stop. You know, there's a difference between being what do they call it? Militant. You know, it's a difference between being militant and being a loving person. And he died a loving person, you know, and it's fucked up that he died like that. You know, they sniped that man outside his hotel. And, you know, I bet, you know, and he said it before then. He said he led his people into a burning house.
Into a trap. Yeah. But I mean, that came along later. And I think the main thing everybody got to realize, Martin Luther King, it's just like you said, G Smooth. Martin Luther King was, I mean, he was a God-fearing man all the way to the tip top. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that Malcolm X wasn't. And I don't even think Malcolm X was militant. You got to remember, that's something that they fed. That's something that they fed us. He wasn't really militant.
They didn't feed us nothing. They didn't feed us nothing when it come to Malcolm X because we had to learn that on our own. And Malcolm X was a G. Malcolm X was militant. Malcolm X was a smart man. He went through everything, you know. So Malcolm X was that nigga. I just don't like how people portray MLK.
The Nation of Islam in America, they don't believe in that turn the other cheek shit. They believe in for an eye. You know, they believe in that, you know, that's an Islam thing, whether it be in America or in the Middle East. You know, in the Middle East, you steal something, they cut off that hand. You rape a woman, you ain't finna get no more pussy, they finna cut that off. So, you know, the Muslims believe in that eye for eye, tooth for a tooth.
That's real talk.
The crazy part about it is, though, the American white man believes in that too. Because if anybody he feel like trespassing him, he gonna trespass him back. Bigger, harder, and stronger. So it's just kind of crazy. And the reason I say it's something they fed us is don't nobody teach their kids to get bullied. Ain't nobody gonna tell their son or daughter that if somebody hit you, you don't hit them back. The only people that ever preach that kind of stuff, man, they don't understand. I don't even think the good Lord say, even the good Lord say you can defend yourself, man.
Well, I'm gonna take up for one thing, you know, on the Martin Luther King side, he was walking in the path of the Messiah.
Yeah.
Because the Messiah could have killed everybody. He could have killed the Romans. He could have did all that. It wasn't in Yahweh's will. So when I look at it on that side, I respect that. But at the same time, on the Malcolm X side, due to the situation, you can't turn the other cheek when a nigga raping your wife, bro. You can't turn the other cheek when a nigga hanging your kid, bro. It ain't no turning the other cheek at that point. It turns into the Old Testament when it was eye for eye, tooth for tooth, correct? So when you look at even the Bible ideology, I mean, whatever the word, what is the word is, AC? Ideologies?
You said it.
Ideologies. Yeah, but when you look at the Bible in that sense of those stories, it's a time and place for all those things, bro. And that's the thing they said what made it tight was you had Martin Luther King, then you had Malcolm X. So you had both of those ideas to become one.
And
both of those ideas put together a mass mind. That's why they killed both of them.
Exactly. They didn't give them a chance to come together.
Right.
And that's exactly it. That's exactly
it. Tupac, you didn't give chance to Tupac to be a Jay-Z. It'll be hell. You didn't give chance to Pimp C to be a Jay-Z. You took these niggas out because they had too much following, my nigga.
That's right. Did you know Pac sit up there and told Clinton and Dole, I sold 6 million copies in so many months. Shit, at least I got 6 million people listening to me.
Exactly.
The shit we talking about every day on this podcast. Hell, if it get popular enough, they'll start knocking on our goddamn door. Shit, let it get real enough.
You're right. You're right.
Let it get real enough.
We're gonna make sure we open the door with something nice. You make sure we open the door with something nice.
They'll start come knocking on our door. Shit.
We didn't make sure them VPNs jumping.
Camera flash.
You make sure them VPNs jumping.
They ain't coming at no fake motherfuckers. They ain't coming at you spitting fake. They're letting the fake people be out there. They gonna let you hear the entanglement and all that bullshit.
You right.
They gonna let you hear that part, but they don't want to hear this part right here.
That bullshit. You right. You right. They don't want to hear the truth, bro.
Hell nah. Truth been on strike a long time ago.
I don't want to throw us off on
that. They won't negotiate.
But we pretty much. We capped on that. We're trying to keep it in the time frame.
That's what I'm talking about.
Second topic, you know, was the army in Chicago, meaning Trump was sending out, you know, troops to Chicago to keep everything copacetic or whatever you may call it, but we know what they're gonna go out there and do. And those are motherfucking brothers out there. Those are sisters out there. Those are nephews and nieces out there. So how do y'all feel about that? And what is we supposed to, we got to work like a motherfucking beehive. You know what I'm saying? All the bees work on the same agenda. So just because we in another state don't mean we can't connect with our brothers. How do y'all feel about that shit with them doing that? Even though we know our brothers and sisters is fucked up out there. We know they fucked up out there. We get pissed off every motherfucking weekend. We hear 100 and some motherfuckers got shot. And we don't know if it's us shooting each other, but come on, y'all.
I was just gonna say that.
This is the problem.
It might not even be us.
No, bro. See,
might not, bro.
No, bro. We gotta really just look at it, my nigga. We have to look at this shit on the street level. We have to look at it on the street level. Niggas are going crazy. Bro, I'm all for my people, bro. I'm all nigga. Fuck the police. Motherfuck them. Fuck the government. I know what they do. I know the lies. But the sad part is, bro, once you niggas start running in the funeral homes like the cartel did,
dog.
That's the only reason why the feds fucked the cartel over. Because they was like, these niggas shooting at cops, dog. These niggas are spraying cops with 100 rounds.
These niggas shot 62-year-old grandmamas and shit, bro.
Yeah, we're not gonna sit here and let this shit happen, dog. And this is all, it goes back to say, the police. The police, for years, are used to pulling over niggas that got jobs, beating the hell out of them. You know what I'm talking about? Beating the hell out of dope boys, taking their money, letting them go.
What does that have to do with niggas? What does that have to do with niggas terrorizing our own motherfucking people?
A lot, because this is the problem. If you little and you see a cop beat the fuck out of your homeboy or your brother and take his money and take his necklace, kinfolk, for one, you never trust a cop. And for two, you're going to be like, God damn, nigga, so we got to be beasts. We got to be gorillas, nigga. Like a nigga raised a pit bull to be a killer. Like a nigga raised army people when they 18, 17, 16 out of high school and turn these niggas into straight natural born killers.
I disagree, nigga. I don't think it's them niggas doing that shit, bro. Some of that shit that they be putting out there, I just don't think them niggas doing that shit, bro. I don't think that. That's just my opinion. It's mighty funny to me that they put something out there, and then all of a sudden you sending the motherfucking police to Chicago. But see, the feds to Chicago. But here's the thing, though.
They been killing niggas for years, bro.
But here's the thing, though, nigga. But here's the thing, bro. They're not gonna. Let's say if it's niggas really out there armed up with weapons, bro. They're not sending them niggas to get them niggas. They're gonna send them motherfuckers to get regular niggas that's just in the hood working.
They don't get the protesters because they need the gangbangers. They need the niggas dying. They need this shit to apply to the plan. And niggas gonna still kill it. Nigga, Meek Mill said it best. Meek Mill said, "I'm top."
Oh man, am I the only one that it froze up on?
No, I'm good. We good.
Froze up over here too.
We should be good.
Oh, it's back. It's back. Say what you were saying, E. What Meek Mill say?
He froze up.
Oh, he froze up.
Yeah, he still froze on my end.
He must have about to been saying something monumental.
Yeah, he was. You know how the internet works on us, dog.
He must have about to say something cool.
So I was telling G Smooth, he was talking about the last one we did, got flagged. I let you know they looking.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to show up as no motherfucking like or view. They can watch this motherfucker without letting you know they looking in shit.
I mean,
man, that situation in Chicago, man, them folks, man, they've been cranking that game up. They've been cranking that game up for a minute, man. Anytime, the government get a chance, opportunity to do send them folks up in there, they're gonna do that. They're opportunists. A lot of times, they let you take that step and they'll take another step, dude. So to me, in Chicago, you got both factions in there. You got somebody in there stirring the pot, and you already got somebody there. You dig what I'm saying? You got
the normal street shit that's happening.
Outside, and you got people there eternally, and just making it look fucked up like that. I can't believe that they So everybody got. I mean, damn, how many people is in that little area? After a while, you keep killing 100.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I know, right? They should be extinct by now. Goddamn.
Left.
Come on, man.
You know,
nah, man, it ain't, bro. And I know
these young niggas ain't wilding out like that, bro. I mean, they're wilding, but it ain't no different. It ain't no different.
Bro, you got to think like this.
These niggas is wilding.
All right, bro, let me put it this way. You remember the DJ Academics was on the war in Chirac?
Yeah.
Remember that? That was what, 2 years ago?
About three.
Yeah.
Where you go, E?
He froze up.
I remember that.
Damn.
I don't know. Shit might get. Shit might be real right now. They really destroyed that shit there.
Let me switch internets, bro. I'm gonna rearrange the game.
No. What you say, Elo? Say it again, Elo. Say it again.
I'm freezing, right?
Yeah, we already know what that is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bro.
No, say what you gonna say, nigga.
Yeah, I mean, but they keep freezing me. I was gonna just log into my other hotspot. And they got multiple shit around here, man. Fuck
you. Finish what you was gonna say, dog.
But shit, man. All I was gonna say was DJ Academics was talking about that 2 years ago, man. And he was talking about the war in Chirac. It was going on then. And all I was gonna say is going on now. And it's just it's the product of the environment. It's what they created. And if you think back, all those hotspots, Chicago, Baltimore, Harlem,
Washington,
all those hotspots, Washington, Atlanta. Look at those spots, bro. Look what's there. Predominantly black colleges, black schools. That's where activist movements was created and started.
Nigga, that shit in Tennessee.
In those type of cities, right? Am I lying? And what they talking about, New York is up there with Chirac.
Let me say this. Bro. This shit happening in every motherfucking black city in America. Little Rock, Arkansas, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, come on, dog. Everywhere, bro.
New Orleans.
Right. It's a disease.
But here's the thing, though. And I'm happy you said that. And I got to say this real quick because it's fresh on my mind. If it's happening everywhere and it's been happening everywhere, why is it that you got to send the government in now just because you trying to filter that shit in with the protest shit?
Exactly.
That's my thing.
That's
why did you send that shit in before, nigga?
Because it's right now, it's Black Lives Matter. So
it's like
but that ain't not movement. That's not a black people movement. That's, man, come on, man. Y'all
I know that, but I'm saying right now it's all about Black lives, not just in the United States, bro. But see, in every country this shit is going on in every country right now. Every country is fighting the cops over this Black Lives Matter. I'm not lying, bro. And they added their own shit in there too. Right now, around the whole world, they're doing marches, nigga. It's not just us. So what it is it's a strategic plan. It's a strategic plan to grasp the bullshit. Cause guess what? 100 of them niggas been dying over there. They been dying. Niggas down here. If you look up the stats, if you look up the niggas, the killings in Dallas, Texas, the numbers are up like a motherfucker. It's just the fact that it's not under the highlight. Right now, under the highlight is Chicago. And but what y'all don't know, he already sent them to Portland. They been in Portland.
They've been in Portland. I was just gonna say that.
Exactly. The white folks tripping out there.
Yeah, them white folks tripping hard out there, man.
That come from, that's an old playbook from the 1960s, man. Them sending troops here. You do check out footage from the 60s when they had all the protests in the streets, civil rights movements, women's rights movement, to equalize or to squash it. They always try to bring something in that's an opposition to it, to equalize it, to marginalize it, and to get it out the way. So basically, what they do, the old playbook from the 60s, man. Same shit Edgar Hoover did to break up the Panthers and all the other movements. And it's just that it's a new generation and they indoctrinating the motherfucker to it that ain't hip to it. I was around when they were doing that shit in the 60s. It's old to me. It's a rerun to me.
It's the same shit. It's a reboot.
It's an old playbook. They're using old plays out of an old playbook with a new generation that just really ain't hip to the game. So they're going to send in federal troops. There's going to be a war going on. There's going to be civil unrest. That's how a lot of times they create their change in chaos. You remember back in the Depression, in the Great Depression, when everybody was marginalized and fucked off, they came up with an idea to help you, the New Ideal. But hell, the New Ideal came with the damn Federal Reserve, which we all know what the Federal Reserve is about. That shit don't belong to the United States of America. That shit is the World Bank, belong to the World Bank. So every time you have a chaotic situation like that, man, them folks come through the back door with the solution, and it ain't gonna be for the average everyday human being. It's gonna be some fuckery in the game somewhere.
True.
So basically, nothing new under the sun. What you telling me? Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, I mean, now the difference is back then, you know, you had Walter Cronkite and all them motherfuckers, you know, on scene with cameras and shit. You don't need that now. I can watch that shit on my hip on my phone. So now you got more wide world, you know, spread. Back to what E was saying about the protests being worldwide. The reason why the protest is worldwide because it's being televised.
Right.
You know, it's being broadcast. You can see it now. More people can get hip to it. You dig? They really ain't got control over the internet like they had control over ABC, NBC,
yeah, they don't.
PBS, and all that shit.
The government tried to seize that hole like a couple years ago when it was time to do the contract over. When they was playing them ISIS beheadings and shit.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell you what make it crazy to me. You know. Go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, the difference now is technology. You dig what I'm saying? Us sitting here being able to discuss that shit amongst people just in a little neighborhood. You dig? It wasn't that finite back then in the 60s because it wasn't that broad. It had to be more word of mouth. It don't have to be word of mouth now. You dig what I'm saying? It's just a matter to say, hey, man,
documented now.
Link on, push this button, click on this, and now there you got it. And now it's worldwide.
Which
if they
is
wasn't
the
looking, they
serious
wouldn't
threat.
be snagging. We'd be putting shit out there.
It's a serious threat to their system too. It's a serious threat. We sharing information.
Yeah. Hell no. You know,
true.
information, goddamn, that's hey man, that's it. You know, if
That's
it wasn't, they're trying to stop a nigga from having it. Shit, they trying to question all that shit. If it wasn't what it was, they wouldn't be anything they try to stop you from doing or anything that make it hard for you to do, it really means something. Everything else to let you do, that don't mean shit.
Yeah, I know you're finna move on to that next topic, Flame, but let me leave it with this if we got enough time. I was gonna say, Fred, I never knew nothing about the grassroots movement. I knew about
Back to the grassroots, Elo.
Hey man, I just wanted to know about grassroots, man. You was blessing our game with some knowledge the other day while we was talking, and I ain't never heard about it, man. And I mean, other people might have heard about it. You know, a lot of people are deep in our culture, and it's one of my lackings in life. I haven't been that deep in our culture like that, man. I just been trying to just maintain. But yeah, anyway, Fred, yeah, man, bless us with that, bro.
Yeah, what we was talking about how they have the information going down and how they dictating the narrative and whatnot. And it was the same back in the day when you had the civil rights movements of the 60s. You know, it's always been a movement of civil rights for black people in the country. So, you know, you have to be distinctive, you know, when you say civil rights, because as long as we was over here and we wasn't able to do what we needed to do, there's always going to be some, you know, you don't do people like that without getting a reaction. But you had the main civil rights movement that's always talked about is with Martin Luther King. If you get an opportunity, research the Big Six. It was the other cats that was following along with King. One of them was Abernathy. I think another one might have been Marshall, but it was some cats that was running with him back then. So basically what they did was they chose the lesser of two evils when they chose the civil rights movement with King. Right? You know, they wanted nonviolence. They was all good with that. But they really didn't like the fact when he did the I Had a Dream speech. But then you had the Malcolm X movement with the Nation of Islam. A lot of people don't understand them. Them folks was negotiating with the Klan to get land in the South.
Wow.
So when you say that, though, what does that mean exactly, though?
It means exactly what he
said.
What
does that mean? Well, I'm asking because, hold on. Does that mean does that make the Muslim movement about business? Or does it mean
what the Nation of Islam game was self-sufficiency. They wanted separation. They were figuring Well, hell, we was the one who built the country anyway. We was the one that dug in the dirt.
We'll figure it out.
Midwife. We don't need y'all. Give us our own shit and leave the fuck alone. So that's what the Nation of Islam angle was. So, you know, a lot of them white folks in the South were selling out.
They like that.
So after the Civil War, because them plantations wasn't doing what they were doing.
You know, they had slaves. They didn't have no workers.
Hey, they
had no workers.
So the Nation of Islam logic was, shit, let us get the land and we can work it our damn selves. We've been working it the whole time anyway.
For real.
Right.
So they was going for the land.
So that's why they didn't want to get involved.
Right. But then you had the hidden movements where they wasn't televised, where they literally organized to go lay on airports in certain cities, and there the planes land on them. Now, what I'm gonna do later in the game, I'm gonna start getting my references because I got everything that I need, all of my story, and I'm gonna start providing.
Cover your mic, Fred.
I'm gonna start providing y'all with those references so y'all can start peeping that out for yourselves.
And I got a quick question, Fred, because you just made me think about something that you'll probably know about. May rest in peace, John Lewis. Now, from my research, I really can't pinpoint nothing besides the March on Selma that he did. Do you think he was kind of a part of that overly politicized kind of picture that they were trying to paint? Because they kind of, like I said, I can't really pinpoint nothing that John Lewis did outside of maybe the Selma March.
Well, you know, those cats were never in the forefront. They always was trying to get in the picture, so to speak.
See what I'm saying?
You dig what I'm saying? You know, King was the man, and, you know, you got boys, so, you know, he wanted to get his in there. Then once you get your face out there, then people recognize you. Then, you know, you can, you know, maneuver your way in, and you might go give a speech or organize, you know, a committee or something over there. But now, as far as him being the main player in the game, if he wasn't, research the Big Six of Martin Luther King when y'all get a chance. Research them. Abernathy is gonna be a name. I think, golly, what's that one cat name? The light-skinned cat that Malcolm X knew that was up there in government. Can't think his name right now. But yeah, research them cats.
And they said Martin Luther King had a right-hand man that was cold-blooded too that really didn't get no props. And I can't think his name right now. I was just reading.
Right. He had some.
He was in that picture when he got shot.
Rolling with it. And then also he had this cat, and I just seen a documentary on him. They call him the Black Godfather. Y'all get a chance, Google that fool and research him. Cause man, he was doing some Frank Sinatra type shit for real. It was some black cats back then that was doing it. But you know, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
Back then we didn't separate ourselves based on class because none of us was middle class, high class. We all was lumped in together. So your preachers, your pimps, your everybody always, no matter what your affiliation was, stay connected. You got to understand, Malcolm was tied to Bumpy.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't separate ourselves from that because we needed the input of everybody.
Well, Bumpy became an investor. He became an investor in the army. He brought that protection to him.
He got the army.
And all them boys are from South Carolina.
See? That's South. That's South, boy. What's up, Southsiders? But man, all I was gonna say was, why y'all think? Now, this is the time Martin Luther King died at the time when brothers was dying, right, left and right.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken, Fred? When people dying left and right back then, MLK, Malcolm X was cops killing people and people were dying, right? So why did they assassinate him like that instead of just
that's a good ass question. That is a good question.
Like, was it like to show black people we ain't shit? But it was an assassination, like they shot Kennedy. It was an assassination, bro.
Oh yeah, no, they're sending the message just like when Trump sent the troops in to clear out them people up in Washington at their church for that photo op. Hey, don't discount imagery.
But basically, I could have been cleaned it up. That's basically what he said. See how fast I can clean this shit up if I want to? I just came into the photo. Instagram. Bam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. He went in there, strong arm the game, and so now they always use imagery. And understand the notes that was released from the A. Edgar Hoover files about him saying we don't need to let them have a messiah. We don't need to let them have a leader. So anytime you get anybody that's black that's gonna come up in the game, they gonna snuff you out. You can't. They don't want a black leader. So Malcolm was leading, Martin was leading. You know, they don't want that no more. So like I say, this playbook that they playing by, it's a 60s playbook, man. That's how they got the Panthers. They gonna infiltrate you too. They gonna infiltrate you. Don't be surprised.
It's gonna be a more.
Now I was gonna ask him. I was gonna jump where we always jump to when we had these discussions. So with the knowledge that you have, Fred, and being around these things and understanding these things the way that you do, how do you put Christianity into the mix in regards to black people? Like what's your prognosis on this on a biblical standpoint or a religious standpoint? I mean, because knowing what we know and knowing the enemies that are against us, I mean, how does it affect your faith or what you believe as far as a higher power? That's what I want to hear about.
Well, in our reality, if you live long and you yield yourself to the cosmic in the universe, you know, you'll find God when you find yourself. You know, so that's number one. So once I found myself and I understood what my cosmic and universal role was, I really didn't too much matter what my worldly role was. And then once I separated myself from that, anything that's worldly to me is against God, Most High, Jah, Allah, Jehovah, whatever you want to call them, cosmic or universal order, whatever you want to call it. It's contrary to that. Anything contrary to that is never going to be in the best interest for mankind and the human being. Never. So to simplify it, that's the first thing that I did. I separated myself from the world and found myself in the universe, in the cosmos, and found out what my universal and cosmic order was. Okay. And that's basically finding out who you are. Once I found out who I was and what my role was here on this planet, then I started to pursue that. So once you start doing that, religion and all of that, you find that to be a lot of times, you know, fairy tales, stories, contrary to the way that it really is. But once you understand the reason why it's like that, then you understand it does have significance. Now, as far as Christianity as a religion, Islam as a religion, Judaism as a religion, I don't deal with it. I will deal with their core concepts and their core values. Because before there were religions, they were disciplines. They weren't religions. It wasn't about worshiping and giving praise and doing all that. These were disciplines of life for the human being to be able to survive on earth. Because first you are spirit and you are a conscious mind. Then you put into flesh. And when you understand the role that the human being had on earth is to put the cosmic and universal order on earth, you have to be a physical being because you fit to have to work a physical earth. If you notice, the early inhabitants of earth worked stone. All of their structures were stone. You dig what I'm saying? So you have to have this physical flesh to be able to work a physical planet. Right. So that was our original intentional purpose. So we got away from that. So you had disciplines. You had Judaism as a discipline before it was about Moses. Same thing with Islam. Before you had a Muhammad, it was a discipline. Before you had a Christ, it was a discipline. It was how you were to pattern your life on earth. Well, when man goes to war, gets in charge, changes the history, writes his own story and all that, he manipulates that and uses it to his advantage.
For his benefit.
Okay, y'all. Right. I don't want to throw nothing off. I gotta go in the front real quick. But I want to ask this question, and I want y'all to elaborate on it real quick. The Nick Cannon issue. They saying he's anti-Semitic by making the claim, telling the truth that black people are the real Jews, because we fit the descriptions in Deuteronomy chapter 68, verse 28, where you will be brought into a strange land on ships, and no man will buy the woman or the man out of slavery. You know what I'm saying? And You'll never see your land again. Now, that's what Nick Cannon presented on his podcast. My question to y'all is, before we get to the ending, was he right or was he wrong? And before y'all go there, remember, if you looked at y'all got to check it out. Nick Cannon did an episode with a rabbi right afterwards. And he erased the shit that he did with old boy. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. I'll put his face up on it right now.
Tariq Nasheed?
No. He was Public Enemy, I believe.
Okay. I can't think of his name.
Who?
No, not Chuck D. My boy. I can't think of his name.
Flavor Flav.
No, hell no.
No, it wasn't Public Enemy.
I want y'all to elaborate, and I'll be back in 3 minutes.
Who? Terminator X? Professor Griff?
Professor Griff. That's who we talking about.
Professor
Griff. That's who we talking about, bro. That's who we talking about. Yeah, it's Griff. That's who we talking about.
Shit, I often have to name all of them. Them my boys, they're Public Enemy. Shit. Chuck D. Oh yeah, I was up on them big time in the 90s. And this cat
what you think about the
Nick?
What you think about the Nick Cannon thing, man? I think they caught him on a little bit and went all the way in about nothing, man. He quoting facts.
Yeah. He the same. He quoted the truth, and they didn't like it.
That's all it was. That's all I took. They know they're not the real Hebrews. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not the real.
Nah.
And then not only that, anything with that J in it, the J didn't get into the alphabet until the 1600s. So it wasn't no Jews. It was Hebrews and Israelites. You got to understand that the Pope that went in and renamed everything in the world. So, all of that.
To cause more confusion. More confusion.
He did whatever, he did whatever Constantine didn't do too. But Constantine took out all them little books, man, that we needed. He was snatching books up out of there.
Yeah. And see, really, that New Testament of the Bible is supposed to be a warning. They took that part out because that book, you have to understand, they was at war at that time. And that individual they called Jesus, where you call him Jesus, Joshua, Yahweh, he was going over there to them white folks trying to tell them what they were doing wrong, and he got killed too, like Malcolm, Martin, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
So what Nick Cannon said was the truth, and it's just the season for them to sit up there and they got to make an example out of somebody, man.
All right.
They have to make an example out of somebody, man. That's all.
True.
He's just an example.
And they done made many an example too, man.
Yeah.
They done made many an example, man.
Yeah, they make an example. I got this one cat to sit up there. I was on this mixtape I'm doing where he say they showed us the gun line and we didn't got scared. They show us that gun line every time. They make an example out of them.
Tell them about the gun line, boss. From Shack to Shack.
And it sure is easier whenever they done fed you them millions. See, that's why he went back and apologized. See, he was spitting that game, but I don't know if he was. And that's what I was telling folks. Like, he had to know either he didn't know what he was getting to or he did. But once you start telling that kind of truth, you got to know the consequences for that. You got to be prepared and already have your structure set up to where, hey, man, I said this, but I can stand on this because I done already created my financial background to where I can do what I do.
Exactly. Well, we gotta understand.
David Chappelle should be a good example.
Nick Cannon is set. Boom. That dude's set. Nick Cannon is set. So
he's set.
He ain't tripping on. Yeah, he lost a lot of money that was coming to him from his shows, but financially speaking, the man was set. He still is set, and he could do the same thing with Puff Daddy. Puff Daddy already put it out there on the line because he got Revolt TV.
He can start his own YouTube channel.
He already got his YouTube.
He's already big. All his acts can be on his own shit.
It's already big. He already got it big on YouTube. He's already good. He's really good. The dude is not no dummy. The man understands business.
He just apologizing because he knows some of his friends he kind of hurt with that statement.
That's why That's why he apologized.
It was true, but see, this is the thing you gotta always remember. The Romans, the people, slave owners, but that doesn't necessarily mean their grandchild is presidential racist.
It don't matter if they prejudice or racist. It's just the privilege that they get behind the business that their parents ran.
Well, that's cool. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying
animals.
this. I'm saying this. Every person is not fucked up in different cultures. I'm not gonna say that. Now I'm gonna say the majority of people that I've encountered that been in a power standpoint have been fucked up.
He froze up again.
Yeah, he froze up. I tried.
So I can never do anything. That's almost like churches, right? Churches.
Church chicken.
Different neck chicken bones. But look, church chicken. Churches, bro. Different religions. People look down on you and they hold themselves up to a higher standard. It's art of war. It's divide, conquering divide. And I look at it the same way, bro. I look at it the same way. I'm not gonna sit here and say everybody's fucked up, bro. Because to be honest, all sides are fucked up.
Everybody's fucked up.
So much. A nigga always say racist lingo. Always say fucked up shit. Every race do the same shit. Get drunk.
What they call us? Takacha?
That nigga say Takacha.
No. That's what they say in Nigeria. No. Nigerians call us Takata. Takata.
When they call
that's a cotton picker. That's a cotton picker.
I forgot what the Chinese people say, dog. It's funny how the Chinese
people say
they
call us cotton pickers.
The Chinese people say something like Mungapo. Something like that shit. So that guy doing the M, bro. That shit's so fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, that shit funny as a motherfucker.
That shit is funny as a motherfucker.
Hey, Jungle Bunny.
Anytime
is that not funny? Dog, that's very funny.
It's a real difference. I don't care what we say or what we do or whatever we say about another race. I can guarantee you, though, bro, it's not engraved in your heart. Whenever these other people, these other cultures, the other races say something about us, they really believe that, bro. They really get on there and stand on top of that.
They really
we got tough skin. We got tough skin. We've been through it.
We don't just mean that shit. Like when we be saying it like laughing. They be saying it like really hate, bro. Like really, man, to be honest, I said this in my rap verse. A nigga can't even go this fast food or a corner store without getting treated like look down on, bro.
Nigga, man, let me tell you something, bro.
I'm the type of nigga that knocked the whole chip rack down. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care what nobody.
I used to do that shit, but I don't do it no more. I just charge a nigga up real calmly and politely and make a nigga really talk. You know what I'm talking about? That calm charge up, like, man, hey man, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you, bro.
I be in that whole
hey, I'm one of your
fuck your chips.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that shit no more. I used to do that shit. When I had them big 64 cups.
I don't care what nobody say, dog. Black people ain't racist, bro. It just ain't in us because they didn't train us to be, nigga. They trained us. We was taking care of their kids, dog.
Well, we not racist. We not racist, but we are knowing our place. Like you know what I mean by that, right? We know our place.
It was a cat that called that the hate that hate made.
Wow.
So basically,
wow.
That's what
and that's what that is. Like we know what we got to do to make it. It don't matter. We can see a lot of racists can wake up and say fuck niggas and go live life and be good. We can't wake up and say fuck white people.
Exactly, bro.
That's my point. You know why? Because back to Malcolm X, we never supported our own community.
Nah. Well, we did, but they tore that up too, bro. They destroyed that too.
They destroyed it, but kinfolk, it's been times that we could have built it and created as a whole, and due to whatever reason, how they got all of us feeling, man, fuck that shit, I'm gonna do it, man, on my own. I made it on my own. I mean, it ain't no wrong to feel that way because, like I was telling Flame not too long ago, a lot of black people, man, that gets to a successful level and a successful point, bro, they lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of family. People turned on them, burnt them. So their trust issues are really fucked up.
But the thing about that is, though, that happens in every family, every culture dynamic, bro. That ain't nothing new. A hater is a hater, inside a family or not.
But with us, we love hard. Nina Ross.
No, I don't like
ain't nowhere in the world,
bro. I don't like motherfuckers knocking on my door late at night.
Nina Ross.
Damn.
Nina Ross. I say I'm gonna chill my Nina Ross. Nigga, knock on my door, late get on with that Nina Ross. I don't give a fuck if it's the police, it's that Nina Ross.
Boy.
Nigga get on the nigga ass, it's that Nina Ross. And then let a nigga dog eat up his ass, that
Man, you
Nina
got one
Ross.
of them Snow Patrol 9s. G Smooth got one of them Snow Patrol 9s.
I don't like motherfuckers knocking on my door talking about we delivering food. All right, I'm finna deliver these motherfuckers slow.
Yeah, real quick, dog. It is 11:14 p.m.
You do not knock on my motherfucker.
Yeah.
You lucky I didn't answer the door with the K. I could have pulled the K out.
Should've.
You're tripping, man.
Should've. You should've. Nigga, them niggas over there lurking. They over there lurking.
Already. I had to check a motherfucker that was catching Ubers in front of my crib.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I said, say, man, you can't be doing that, dog. I'm just waiting for an Uber. I say, shit, you need to wait up at the goddamn corner because that shit is address driven. That man gonna come in my motherfucking house and stop. Shit. I said, I don't need your goddamn your motherfucking phone and my address and shit.
Trying to rob somebody, then it be your nah, none of that.
When they start backtracking and shit.
Look, that's probably my son. I used to send my son to different addresses. I say, nigga, don't bring your homeboys over to my house. Them shady ass niggas you be fucking with, nigga.
What?
Use their other motherfucking address.
You better stay your ass in the car.
Yeah, walk your ass down the street. Damn, dude, you won't even let me use nigga, because y'all be doing too much. Nigga, get your ass down the street, nigga.
Black folk, white folk, Mexican folk, Irish folk, whoever the fuck folk, they gonna answer they door with they shit after a certain period of time, bitch.
Boy,
you ain't getting no invite.
Nigga, when you come across that yard,
you was not invited.
Nigga, when you come across that yard and them dogs get to barking, and them pistols get drawn in Texas,
the straps get loaded.
Texas, the dog gonna let you know, nigga, who on my yard.
And hey, man, that's just to show how tough shit they got, man. Back in the day, niggas used to keep their doors unlocked, windows unlocked, open, cars, keys in cars, all that shit. Man, hell, you can't even get in the damn car now without the damn pad. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You can't do none of that shit. You can't leave your shit over for a second.
Hell no, shit, nah, nigga. You better use it as American Express. Don't leave it home without it, shit.
Straight up.
I mean, niggas staying scheming.
That's what time it is.
Niggas staying scheming out here, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I got something for your scheme, nigga.
If you youngsters want to be in the street life, y'all better be ready, man. Cause it's dirty out here. It's dirty out here, bro. It's dirty out here,
like Grandmaster Flash, rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkie in the alley with the baseball bat.
I'm saying.
Hey, last subject, man. Where do we go from here? How? I know, and you know what? This is a hard question because it still ain't been answered for thousands of years. This is a multi-thousand-year question. Where do we go from here? How do we make this better? How do we create peace? How do we make ourselves? Come on, y'all. How do we manifest greatness? How do we do this shit?
Change in power, bro. There has to be a change in power. And it's kind of like what Fred said. At the end of the day, bro, it's way bigger than us and bigger than this physical world. And we all get caught into it. That's why I say, that's why I asked him that question.
Is that social engineering?
Conversation.
Is that social engineering?
Well, I'm just saying in general that I don't give a damn who's in control. Mankind ain't gonna do right unless they follow a set of rule of disciplines. Like
damn.
you said. I mean,
so the cosmic laws.
No matter which way you look at it, whether the law comes from the creator, I don't care how you blend it and look at it. Them rules, and it's kind of like I tell myself sometimes when I fuck up. And it's kind of how I tell my son. I be like, bro, it's rules we gotta follow. If you don't follow the rules, then nigga, we fuck up. And you gotta take your L because it's already written. If you do this, you do this. I messed up. Had sex before marriage. Had you with your mama. She didn't like me. It affected you. You fucked up. If I'd have did things differently, you wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I gotta take my L because it's dynamic. It's rules. And whenever you fucking see what the difference is, and with the subject that we talk about is the Anglo-Saxon, the Caucasian American. He done got away with so much of fucking up the rules that he done got away with it. For him and the devil, they just done ran free doing it, and the devil done use them doing it. But at the end of the day,
he ain't the only one that done got away. He ain't the only one that done got away.
Well, see, you gotta think. You gotta think, man. The devil always scheming.
The devil ain't got no color. The devil ain't got no color.
The devil got a plan for. See, the devil got a plan for him too. When you think you running with the devil, and you think you ace boom coon with the devil, nigga, he got a plan for you too. So you know, so when you look at that part, I think that it don't matter who's in power. Whatever country in the world will be in power, they're gonna be like shit. The motherfucker with power gonna turn to shit.
So that's
what comes. That's what comes. And the Afro-American, the Black Hebrew Israelite, the Afro-American will never have a place. I don't give a damn who's in charge.
So I'm asking. So this is my question. How can we need a solution, bro.
There ain't no solution. You need to pray and repent and run for cover.
What's gonna happen?
Run for cover, because them bombs gonna be, they gonna light the sky up like bronze.
Okay,
nigga.
I understand that. I understand that. But I'm saying, as an average black person,
dig this. It's inevitable for it to end, because there's elaborating on what both of y'all talking about, dude. You didn't push the envelope off the table. The motherfucker ain't on the table no more. And you can't bend down and pick it up. It's too late. The game over with. We done went too far. We will not be able to meet the obligations of the universal godly order, whatever, that we were supposed to do in the first place. The European has gotten in power and has did exactly what was known that he was going to do. So, I mean, basically, the solution to the problem,
the earth is cleansing itself.
The solution to the problem is trying to make the best out of it what you can. It's like playing baseball. You up at the plate, whatever life throw at you, goddamn it. If it look good, swing at the bitch. You just might.
The earth is cleansing itself of its vomit.
There
you go.
Ain't no animals dying, bro.
There you go.
Ain't no trees dying. There's nothing dying but people. The stench of the
last episode, me and
I got a video I'm gonna try to find and send you on that same tip right there. What you just said. I was just peeping a video out a couple of weeks ago on that tip. I'm gonna see if I can find it and shoot it to y'all.
Do that. What you saying, Blaine?
I was saying on the last episode, me and Onion, we was talking, and we talked about the same shit. And I was like, shit, the earth got pepper sprinkled all over it, and it's time for that motherfucker to sneeze.
Yeah.
So the earth got to sneeze.
The earth nose been running for a minute.
Man, come on.
And don't forget to bless don't forget to bless the podcast with MLK, bro.
I mean,
my partner always,
the song.
Yes, sir.
I ended
one of my partners I always say the same thing when I ask him, my OG, and I be asking him, and he just be like, shit, the only thing you can do is try to save your own village. And if somebody go outside your village and hope they come back, and he really put it that simple, and that's really because it's just kind of like Fred said, they're gonna kill any leadership that's gonna try to lead us into some kind of divine order, right? So if you're gonna kill out your leadership, only thing you can do is lead your own family and try to pass that shit down, bro.
Well,
save your village. I always say that shit.
Hey, City. Okay, now that you say that, now do you think that the blueprint been laid out for us from Malcolm X, MLK, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman? I'm saying they have laid out a format, even though they're not here. Do you think we still follow those formats? Because that gives us the courage, and that gives us the knowledge to want to seek more.
We do follow those. We follow those internally.
Let me answer it though. Well, here's the problem, bro. See, you got to realize how old we are now, how old Fred is now. You got to realize when you finally start to be able to embrace that type of shit. We wasn't embracing that shit when we was young. We was embracing bullshit because that's all we was fed. So by the time, of course, now, as mature adults, we can look back at the bullshit and realize that so-and-so really wasn't our hero, but really Harriet Tubman our hero. Really Marcus Garvey our hero. Really, but look how old we are when we saying that. So now you try to teach your kids that, and they teach. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, bro, they're not the blueprint because because before we could actually create something with their teachings that we could actually instill and pass down, they was already out of there, bro. They already stopped that shit. Instead, guess what they gonna give us? They gonna give us Kodak Black. They gonna give us Tory Lanez.
That's what they're giving our youngsters. They're giving us our youngsters
they
that
kicked
shit.
that game. You know, that game got kicked in the 60s with integration. You know, like I told this white cat back in the day, when I was going to a primarily black school before they started the busing and all of that, I learned about George Washington, but I also learned about George Washington Carver. You dig what I'm saying?
Both.
When I was around, you know, when I was in the predominantly black school, I learned about Benjamin Franklin, but I also learned about Benjamin Banneker.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was able to get 2 educations at the same time, and they knew that. So what they did was, they start defunding. And when they start defunding, they the ones who control the money, what go in the textbooks, the whole 9 yards. And I can tell you what they taught me
You went to PV,
back
didn't
then
you?
and what they teach now, man, ain't nothing but really just more, confirmation to make people conform to what they want them to do. They want people to go out and play this money game, dog.
You was over there in PV, right?
Yeah, I was at PV. Shit, I sat in that jail that Sandra Bland sat in. I sat in that same damn jail. And they threatened me just like they did her.
Nigga, Prairie View, nigga. What y'all know about that shit, nigga?
And you know what the riff is at PV? You had Hempstead, Prairie View, and Waller. Hempstead was town where all your financial transactions went, selling of livestock, selling of fruits, vegetables, shit like that, and selling the slaves. When I got to PV in 1981, they still had colored only and white only on their buildings.
81?
They had the streets
81?
paid in 1981. They had the streets.
Hey, City, what year you were born?
That was my year, nigga. You kept
Come on now.
And hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna preach some more facts to you. My pops graduated from PV, nigga. I got to go do some research for them now.
And keep it out. Ask them about the hanging trees that they had down there in Hempstead, where the motherfucking street paved around these trees, and them was hanging trees. That way, when you were coming from town, you can see niggas hanging from the trees like Christmas ornaments. They still had the hangman's noose in the courthouse.
Okay.
So now that's Hempstead.
So with that being said, is Prairie View really a historically black college? With that being said,
peep game. Prairie View was the plantation where they grew every damn thing. Waller was the place where all the livestock was. And it was like that when I was down there in 81. It was still set up that way.
Wow.
After the North kicked the South ass, they started having land grant acts. A lot of these land grants, that's a lot. When you hear white folks say the government gave y'all, they not lying. Because once the Union kicked the Confederates' ass, the Union to the victor goes to spoils. So shit, the North said, fuck it, we ain't finna give y'all this land back. We gonna give it to the slaves. So a lot of the slaves turned Prairie Views, Alcorns, and all of those into colleges, and they flourished into universities.
Southern University in Baton Rouge.
The beef with Hempstead, Prairie View, and Waller was they wanted Prairie View bad. Now you got 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 black folks down there with money, driving cars, getting educated. They could not stand that shit. They could not stand it, player. And I'm telling you what I know. So I sat in that same jail Sandra Bland sat in. And I know what they do when they do to you.
So you know what the history is behind the hate that they. So that's a deep-seated hate, just like the Oklahoma bombers, just like everything else.
Yes, sir. They are pissed off. They are pissed off that they do not have that land and they do not control it. Them black folks control that. They won't let nothing white come down now. That's how tough. That's why they was always messing with PV, trying to change the name and do all of that.
I know a couple people.
Here go some of y'all peep out when y'all get a chance. I was told, don't know how true it is, that Texas A&M University College Station was the original black college. That it was taken.
A&M. Go to Florida,
taken from blacks.
Oklahoma. I'm not Oklahoma, or Arkansas A&M. Everybody got somebody A&M. Some way, somehow, that shit tying to black colleges. A&M.
Because A&M was agricultural and mechanical, or agricultural and military.
Yeah.
Well, shit, the agriculture shit makes sense anyway, because at the end of the day, them white boys couldn't do the job anyway, because shit, they couldn't. All they knew how to was work niggas. They didn't really know how to work the land. So
that's right.
Make shit.
That's right.
That's right.
When they was opening up the factories in the 1940s and 50s and 60s, when they was opening up them factories up north, the automakers and all of that, and the blacks were migrating from the south to the north. Don't you know white folks was at the train station shooting at black folks trying to stop them from going north?
Oh, goddamn.
Ain't that some shit? We low down and we no good, but now when we trying to go better ourselves and hop on these trains and go north and get these industrial jobs.
You knocking us down. They knocking them down like they...
Segregation in its glaring and conspicuous form. We still confront segregation in its glaring and conspicuous form. Even though before the victory is won, somebody else will have to get started. Even though before the victory is won, somebody else will have to get started. Even though there are the difficult days ahead. 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 Even though there are the difficult days ahead.
Life is like a box of chocolate, you never know what you gon' get, but I guarantee it's gon' be full of shit. Them folks, and I ain't just talking about the whites, switching up religion, putting a curse up on our life. Democracy is pushing to break the laws of Yahweh, and it's funny how it is in a cliff-wide state. Blacks and Mexicans killing off their own kind. We all walking blind, it's all about the shine. Yahshua Messiah, he put his life up on the line, so we can be forgiven for the decisions off in mind. Bobby Austin on lock, doing 25 long. Keep your head high, badass, stay strong.
Segregation in its glaring and conspicuous form. Even though there are the difficult days ahead. 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 I never intend to adjust myself to the evils of segregation and discrimination. I never intend to adjust myself to the evils of segregation and discrimination. I never intend to become adjusted to religious bigotry. I never intend to adjust myself to economic conditions that will take necessities from the many to give luxuries to the few. I never intend to become adjusted to the madness of militarism, the self-defeating effects of physical violence. I think the hour has come for men all over the nation and all over the world to maladjusted to all of these things. For it may well be that the salvation of our world lies in the hands of the maladjusted. Even though there are the difficult days ahead, even though there are the difficult days ahead,
you gotta hold your head up.
Even though there are the difficult days ahead, even though there are the difficult days ahead,
be strong. No matter what you're going. I know it's hard out there. I know you feel like you can't make it, but you gotta keep faith in Yahweh. You gotta pray, baby. Just pray. Young low. No matter what you're going through, hold your head. Whether you're grinding on the block or locked up in the pen. You see, I done did both and ain't doing it again. Cause that road only leads to one place, a dead end. I don't wanna die in sin, I really wanna be saved. All that I've been through, I'm truly blessed to see the day. So if you're feeling what I'm saying, pick up your pride. Cause you survived the street life and they thought you would die. And to all the single mothers, just kiss your child. You can lose them in any second, so cherish they smile. I know it seems like time's getting kinda tough. Just give thanks to Yahweh for waking us up. You see, my mama told me that, but I never understood. Cause every time I look, somebody dying in the hood. Until one day I just broke down and cried. Then I thought about what she told me, and I finally realized
my life knowledge is everything, is everything, is everything, is everything.